The random module in Python is a standard library that provides tools to generate random numbers and perform random operations. It includes functions for creating random floats, integers, and even selecting random elements from a list. The random module is essential for simulations, randomized algorithms, and various applications where unpredictability is required. So let's head over to PyScripter and check out the random module. Back in PyScripter, I'm going to open up a new script and remove the default code, and we need to import the random module from the standard Python library. We'll first take a look at random.random, and what the random function does, it returns a float between 0 and 1. So if we just print random.random and run our script, we can see we get 0.28 and more decimal places. Rerun and rerun again, that we get a random number between 0 and 1 each time. I'll clear the interpreter window. Comment out our code. We can also create a random float within a specific range, and this comes in very handy if you think of lat and long, or longitude and latitude. That longitude ranges from -180 to 180 and latitude from -90 to 90. So create a variable called longitude. We'll set this equal to random.uniform. Now uniform takes a range, so we're going to put in -180 and 180, and we'll do the same for latitude. I'm spelling that wrong. Latitude, we'll set that equal to random.uniform and -90 to 90, not 901. And we will print, we'll use string formatting, and we'll say random coordinates and we'll use parentheses, and in our parentheses we will use our curly braces and put in our longitude and our latitude, and we will run, and we can see we got our random coordinates 52.95 and -52. Okay, we got two 52s there. We'll run again, and we got 115 and 56. I'll clear the interpreter window and I'll comment out our code. And I'm going to create a list called cities. I'll set this equal to Dublin, Paris, New York, Sydney, and Toronto. Now we're going to pick a random city, set a variable called random city, set it equal to random.choice, and we supply in our cities list. Now we will print, use formatting, randomly selected city, and that will be our random city. We'll run our code, and you can see we got Paris, we got Sydney, and we got Paris again. I'll clear the interpreter, comment out that code. You might be doing some environmental surveys and you've collected point data. We'll create a list called locations to represent these, and our list contains tuples. Now you'll have proper locations. I'm just going to use simply 1, 1. You'll have, of course, you'll have proper coordinates. 2, 5, 6, 2, 1, 11, 10, 10, and one more, 7, 3. Now we're going to get a sample number of locations. So sample locations equals random.sample. We want to get it from our locations and we want 3 returned. We will print sample locations colon and our sample locations variable. We'll run and we can see that 3 of our sample locations were returned. Run again and we got another random selection of 3 locations. I'll clear the window and I'm just going to comment out the sample locations and the print function here. We're going to use the same locations and we can show that we can shuffle the deck. So we can shuffle the contents of our list. So I'm just going to print random.shuffle and supply in our locations and run. Okay, we can see that we got none there. I've actually ran this wrong. We should actually call random.shuffle on locations. It'll shuffle them and then we print locations to screen. This function is returning none. We run the script now. You can see that our list has been shuffled. Run again and see a different shuffle. I could comment out locations and open up cities. And if I shuffle the cities instead and then print our cities, we should see our cities list shuffled around. And run again for another random shuffle. In this video, we touched on the basics of the random module. We saw that we could generate a random float between 0 and 1. We could supply in a range of numbers and get a random number between the numbers in that range. And we also saw how we can make random choices and samples from data. As this was only an introduction, I would implore you to go and explore more functionality of the random module.